Hey everybody, it's Briggsell here, doing another Company of Heroes video. Now, this video is going to be different from the others, because the others are basically me bashing the computer and not really giving you any insight on what the hell I'm doing. This video is about the strategy behind what I am doing. I play mainly the German side. In fact, I've only played like 3 games with the Russians and I didn't really like it at all. I do prefer the Germans in pretty much every aspect. And the reason behind this is because I think fundamentally the infantry is better and the tanks are better fundamentally. Something that the Russians have is numbers, and they also have very good mortars and anti-tank weapons, as it were, anti-tank emplacements rather than the actual infantry weapons. So my main focus with the Germans is really getting the infantry out as soon as possible in terms of grenadiers, HMGs, mortars, as best as possible. Now I have very different ways of doing both these things, and I'm going to show you one of the main ways which I usually play the game. Now I normally play only against computers, so this strategy is really basically against the computers rather than any actual person. It may work against people, I don't know, I've not tried it. So what you first need to work out is what commander you want to use. Now I always use the Jaeger infantry doctrine, which gives you camouflage and infantry weapons and various other bits and pieces. You also want to use the best bulletins that you have available. Now you won't have all of these available until you get level up and also do more games. So the best thing you can do to begin with is to just play against the computer, play this single player when the game comes out in a week or so, and just get better at the game. Simple as that. But these are some tips that I'm going to show you about how to be better at the game, especially in skirmish mode. So this is the way I've set it out. I've got the officer training infantry, which gives me a 3% increased health for grenadiers, 2% increased accuracy for grenadiers, and I've also got the 8cm mortars, 3% increased health and 6% increased sight range. That's just for my infantry. I haven't got any other bulletins because you can only have 3. So let's just start a game. This is purely for showing you guys what it's all about. So make sure I select the right one. Yes, infantry. And let's start this game. So the first thing you really want to do is, I'll show you this in a second, but you really want to move your pioneers out straight away to capture a point. You also want to create a pioneer squad as well, as soon as possible, because speed is of the essence to begin with, because the quicker you capture points, the better you will be in general. Let me just move the microphone. There we go. So immediately onto points and create your pioneers. Now the pioneers, when these pioneers come into the battle, usually from the bottom here, you want to create your first building, which is the infantry company building. Actually, it's coming up from there for some reason. So you build it straight away. Now you've got 2 options here. You can create the fuel dump or the ammunition camp, or you can move on to another point. I'm going to move on to another point because with that manpower you can buy a unit pretty much straight off the bat, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a unit. I'm going to buy the HMD to begin with because I am all about defense to begin with. Once you've created your building, you want to move your pioneers onto another position so they can keep taking ground. Once these pioneers have captured this point, I want them to attack this location. This location is probably the most important location, to be honest, and that's why I'm going to set up my HMGs somewhere around there. I'm going to move them forward eventually. So attack move. Attack move is very useful because it means you can go off and do stuff without them acting like idiots. Now I want to pause this game, so I'm going to go into the menu, because I'm a cheating bastard. But I want to explain something to you. Now you're at this point where you want to choose one of two things. Do you want to keep with the infantry? Do you want to be able to mobilize your infantry quicker? Do you want to get better infantry like Panzer Grenadiers and half tracks? Or do you want to go straight onto tanks? If you want to go straight onto tanks, I suggest that you completely miss the second building. Do not buy the second building if you want tanks. The reason behind this is because you save money and you save time. Simply upgrade your first building once you've got enough. So these pioneers are getting engaged by this combat engineer squad. They're not doing a very good job about it. I'm going to create another MG squad to cover the bridge. I'm going to fall those back. I'm going to go with the infantry option. HMGs are fantastic, especially at the early phase, because at the early phase the Russians don't have mortars until they get their, I think it's the third building. So you really want to avoid something. I don't know, I've lost my train of thought. Okay. So I'm going to build this second building, and I've got enough points for it. Actually, I need to upgrade first because I'm an idiot. These are basically battle phases, which the Russians unfortunately don't have battle phases. While I'm doing that, I might as well capitalise on getting some ammo, because ammo is going to be important later on. That gun is in a perfect position as far as I'm concerned. I'm also going to move this gun up as well to there. Remember to hover over a location to get perfect cover, okay? Because that's what you want. And remember also, if you hold shift when you're trying to create, what will happen is the unit will finish what they're doing and move on to the next. So it's kind of like queuing up things. Now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say at the moment you're complete. Oh fuck! I forgot. I've already queued these guys up. I'm an idiot. You're going to say to me, but Briggsel, why are you doing that? What's the point of what you're doing? Well, really my main focus is to defend this middle point and this point here. I don't really give a shit about that. They are going to start to come round the back, which is unfortunate, but hopefully I'll have won by that point, because by that point they won't have got guns and such. What I could do though is, once I realise, I might pick them like that. Now these caches that I'm creating, depending on what sort of situation you're in, you might want to choose different routes and different ways of doing things. I'm going to create another MG squad for this area over here, because MG squads are really useful in this game, especially early days. You really want to utilise the MG squad, especially the German, because the German's pretty decent. Their area, their arc of effect is greater than the Russian counterpart. Remember what? Hover over the area where you want to place them. And if there is a gold shield, it means that's decent cover. If there's a green shield like that one, it means it's really good cover. It means it's in very good cover. Why I'm covered that position is because it means I can cover from behind if necessary. Right. I will lose this, unfortunately. That is the case. I will lose it. That is just the way it is. But once I've got that MG in position, I'm going to move these folks forward. Use my pioneers as the infantry to begin with. Obviously, you'll have used different units. There will be all kinds of different units in the game that you may have used at this point, rather than the infantry that I'm using. Now that I've got this upgrade, this camouflage upgrade, it means that they can't really drop any mortars or such on me, because I'm in a very decent position here. So attack move, biggest thing you can use, attack move. Remember that. Right, it's at this point in the game where unfortunately they will start to spaz out units like scout cars and such, so you've got to be very careful. I'm going to mine this road. Because I think that is probably the best course of action. I'm also going to bring in some Panzer Grenadiers, which are the best grenadiers in pretty much every aspect, to be honest, and I'll push them over here. These trees are havoc when it comes to viewing, when it comes to putting view mode and such. It's really a pain in the ass. That is the reason why I put that MG gun there, because they cover the rear. I think that's a really good idea to do that. Cover the arcs. Oh, damn it. Molotov cocktails. Absolutely hate Molotov cocktails. They are so bad. Where are my grenadiers? I'll push them forward for some strange reason. Move my MG into a position where it can overlook that group. Bring in my Panzer Grenadiers, and to be honest, these guys are shit out of luck, unfortunately. They are very hardy folk, the Grenadiers.
You want something? Quickly! Ready! Pioneer squad! Faster! Move like pioneers!
Move like pioneers. I'm going to keep these guys over there, because unfortunately for me, the cost of the Panzerschreck are exorbitant as far as I'm concerned. There's so much money. Push them over there. So at this point, I am slowly bringing the points down. I'm not even worrying about this area here. Yes, some people will say, well, you're giving them the option to get stuff and various bits and pieces. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, I am giving them the opportunity to do such, but I'm also using this as a defensive tactic rather than an actual, you know, purpose. Now I'm going to bring the anti-tank weapons in because I know for a fact that they are going to start pushing vehicles in. Now they've got the mortars in as well. I've got to be even more careful. I'm going to cover the road there first.
Cover and run! Cover and run! Yeah.
Get that camouflage in place so they become unseen. I'll allow them to take that out, that's fair enough. I'm going to bring in a mortar as well, just for the hell of it. Now this anti-tank gun is only useful when it's pointed in the right direction, so you have to basically make a judgment call on which direction you want it pointed in. I'm going to point it in this direction here, because I've got these Panzer Grenadiers to cover my arse, which is always good. Move the mortars in. Bring them over here. Mortars don't have the ability to go camouflage, which means they become a target. I need... Oh, for fuck's sake. Mortars are a bane. This is the point where you want to bring in the they've got me zeroed. Fucking mortars suck ass. Those mortars they seem to have the ability to just shoot you. That's what I'm talking about.
Shoots in here. Moving. You need fire support?
Stop. I'm going to just recover these units.
Yeah, we're ready for anything. Half-track ready. He's total support moving up.
And then I'm going to push forward.
Standing by. Shoots in here. Yeah.
And they've I'm going to lose that anti-tank gun, unfortunately. For some reason, these guys can be seen, and it irritates the shit out of me how these guys can be seen. These guys, how can these guys be seen? I don't understand. Sorry, I'm really irritated by how these guys can just seem to... waste. Unfortunately, it's a waste of... to do that, it was a waste of resources, because it costs a lot more to re-up these guys. You really want to do them with the pioneers because they're the cheapest to do that with, if you understand what I'm saying. These guys are going to fuck up anything that comes down there now. And I can safely move those closer that way. Make sure that you always keep your Panzer Grenadiers mobile, unless you specifically want to have them in that kind of location. At this point, you can once you get to this kind of game state, you can then start to think about moving on to the next kind of phase of the game, as it were. Now, most people would have already got past this stage into the tank lines. I only do it when I'm ready to do so. I'm going to move my panzer. How are they taking that so quickly? I don't understand how they've taken that so quickly. Go to the next building and waste more. Waste more money. Damn it. Now that I've got this anti-tank weapon here, I can effectively remove the grenadiers from this location and move them into more of a offensive role. Some may say that to take out this bridge, quite useful, especially on this map. Take it out, gives them less of a route to get you through with. But it doesn't matter because I've won this game, it's already over. There's no way that they can win. So I'm just going to finish this game, or finish this video, by saying infantry is the backbone to any army. And I mean any army. Here. One of my mines just fucked something up. I want to see what it was. I think it was just a half track or something. Always use infantry. They are worth their weight in gold. But be prepared to take losses. Always be wary when it comes to... Oh god, I've lost my MG unit. How I lost my MG unit, I have no idea. Oh my god, they've stolen my MG. Motherfucker. It's over. Speed is the key. Always move quickly. Sorry, I don't care. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I may have blabbered and forgot what I said, because I do that all the fucking time. But I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for more Company of Heroes 2, because it's going to be one of my big games in the next month or so. So, stay tuned. It's going to be awesome.